friends, welcome back to my channel. Sass here. I'm here for another recap of Inmate to Roommate, and baby, it feels good to be back, okay? We're just going to erase last week. None of that even happened. I haven't even been gone a week, y'all. We're just going to erase that. Sasters, your girl been through it. Oh my God, I'm not even going to get into it. I'm going to save that for another time. But let's talk about Inmate to Roommate. And boy, when I tell y'all, y'all really wanted me to recap this. Y'all showed up. And you showed out. And I appreciate you. To my new subscribers, welcome to the family. Just welcome on to the family, child. Got some new participants. Let's talk about Tiffany. Tiffany sells clothing out of her home. She has an online clothing boutique. She has a homegirl. What's her homegirl's name, y'all? Quinn. She says Quinn is her best friend. That's what she said. I didn't say that. I can't tell. Tiffany, I can't tell Quinn is your best friend. Now, Quinn has been staying with Tiffany for months. She has a one-bedroom. Quinn been busting the couch. But Quinn has found a new friend by the name of Ariel, okay? Ariel has been in prison for 4 years for fraud, honey. Credit card theft. A whole thief out here. And Tiffany says that she knew Ariel back in the day during her clubbing days, child. And so they started writing each other, and you know, Tiffany wanted her to know that people on the outside thinking about her, and they became friends. So of course, when she gets out of prison, boom, she can live with me. Tiffany says that she is going to get a 2-bedroom and Quinn can sublease from her. So of course, Quinn got question marks and questions and all kinds of that. Who is this girl? You don't know this girl. This girl was in prison for fraud. She a whole thief. She's manipulating you. Why you letting this woman move into our place? So, Tiffany has some devastating news for Quinn. She said, listen, okay, that 2-bedroom done fell through. Now, as my best friend, the only option is to kick you out. Kick you out and bring in the prisoner. I said, Tiffany, now I know you know in the inside of your jaw, you just didn't say that. You just didn't say that you was going to kick out your best friend who has a job, who don't have a history, who you've known, who pays rent. You're going to kick her out for a prisoner that you met back in the day in your clubbing days who likes to take folks' credit card and run it up. Now, y'all, I'm not judging, but I want somebody to tell me how that makes sense. Quinn is looking at her like she got 2 hands. She was like, you got to be kidding me. You putting me out? And you breaking in somebody else that you've been writing letters to for prison? So Tiffany was like, listen, you know, I know, you know, I'm all for giving someone a second chance. Excuse me, Tiffany. It's time to pick up Ariel. And there is Quinn holding that dog, going with the child. Of course, Quinn says, this is a terrible idea. I don't like this. You don't know her. She's manipulating you. You're too nice. You're going to be taken advantage of. Tiffany ain't trying to hear it, child. She ain't trying to hear nothing Quinn got to say. Y'all, I got a feeling this is going to be a disaster. Especially between Quinn and Ariel, honey. I think it may be a little bit more to this little situation than just friendship. What y'all think? Y'all let me know down below, child. Let's move on. Child, let's talk about Kyle and Sandra. It's time to pick up Nick. Nick is his homeboy. Kyle was friends with Nick's father. He passed away, and he seems like that. You know, Kyle thinks that he can help Nick, okay? He's trying to do best by Nick because he thought highly of Nick's, father. So, of course, Sandra, she got her eyes wide open, honey. She's giving her man the side eye. She is not down with this whatsoever, but she's going to give it a go. So, Nick, he done got into the car. He's been in prison. He was in prison for drugs, child. I believe it was drugs. What was it, y'all? Meth? Anyway. So, they in the car. And he was talking about, being handcuffed and being in the vehicle, all this bunch of stuff. And so Cal said, that's all good, but let's talk about the rules, okay? We're going to have to go home and write down some rules of the house. And so Nick said, rules? I'm no child. He says, I think the F not. Cal said, oh, I think the F yes. You're going to be going up in my house just cutting the shine, okay? You're going to have rules. And so Nick was like, I'm not a child. I'm not a kid. I don't like this one bit. Cal said, I don't care what you like. You're either going to do it or you're going to be stepping up in my house. Now, I said what I said. I'm not asking. I'm telling. I mean, what Nick going to do? Take your feet to the street? Nick can whine and mope and do whatever. Talk about he ain't no child. You going up in these people's houses. Rules are rules. So they get home. They show Nick his little room. And Nick, he's still adjusting. He's still adjusting. I can imagine being in prison for years. And then you're out and you have to adjust to a new way of life. A new way of doing things. You're in a new place. I get it. I don't really get it, but I understand what he's saying. Okay? He's taking it in. So it's time for the rules, honey. Okay, Sandra gonna be cooking some dinner. And the rules were nothing crazy. I mean, the rules made sense. No drugs, no hoes. You got 30 days to get a job, and then 90 days to get the F up out of here. How hard? That's easy peasy, beautiful cover girl. Nick, those rules are easy. And so Nick, he says, I can go with all of the other rules, but not bringing somebody up in the house. He says, listen, okay, if I go ahead and I meet me a cutie and nobody's at home, hey, I'm about to blow that back out. He says, I can't help that. Oh, you need to help it. They don't want nobody in and out their house. This ain't no flop house. That's what Sandra said, flop house. Lost your mind. There ain't want no holes up in their house. And then Cal said, listen, I know the crowd that you ran around with. I don't want them up in my house. Period. Nick, this ain't hard. Okay, these rules are very simple and easy to go by. They didn't give you anything that you can't handle. 30 days to get a job. You got 30, they gave you 30 days to get a job. I would have gave you 8 days. 8 days. And then they're going to give you 90 days to get out. Honey, they are being very reasonable. Nick, don't mess this up. I got a feeling Nick is going to mess this up, child. Let's move on. DQ. You fresh out. You only got one thing to do. One thing, and you couldn't even do that. Dr. Henry done set DQ up for a job interview. Done got him a job. Fresh out of prison. A job. Only thing DQ have to do is go to the job interview at 1:30. It wasn't like the job interview was at 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. or even 10. It was at 1:30 in the afternoon. DQ couldn't even do that. DQ went with his brothers, and he had a night of all nights. He said that he had partying, honey. He said he had the Patron. He had the Hennessy and some other liquor I never even heard of. He said he had him a good old time. So, of course, Dr. Henry is disappointed and fuming. I will be fuming. So he's like, he got 10 minutes to get to this appointment, and he ain't even here yet. So he done called DQ's cousin, or is it his uncle? It might be his uncle. And so the uncle shows up and said, he ain't here yet. He was like, Lord, let me call him. So he calls him. Here's DQ. I'll be there at 1:33. We pulling in now. No, DQ, you supposed to be there at 1:30, and you ain't going to be there at no 1:33. You still got to wash your tail. You got to brush your teeth. You got to comb your hair. You got to put on lotion. You got to be presentable. You can't be showing up at a job interview looking like you've been drinking Hennessy all night. Dr. Henry said, we're going to have to talk about your time management. This is very important. And here is DQ. I know. Dr. Henry need to chill. He need to get off my neck. See, he right here. He right here. He right here. So guess what, y'all? Guess what happened? He didn't get the job. DQ did not get the job because he showed up late. Whomever the guy was like, listen, if you can't show up on time for your job interview, why would I think you would show up on time for work? Oh, no, I'm not wasting my time with you, son. Okay? All right, you have a good day. And that was that on that. And then here is DQ. He says that, you know, he's sorry, you know, but it was his first night out. He trying to have fun, but he gonna do better. He gonna do better now. But Dr. Henry don't need to be breathing down his neck. Dr. Henry don't need to be lecturing him. Dr. Henry don't need to be telling him what he needs to be doing. He absolutely should be telling you, because let me tell you something, DQ. You ain't telling you. You haven't shown me anything. Not even a job interview. You can't even make that on time. DQ, I'm rooting for you, child. Dr. Henry says if he can't abide by the rules, if he can't, you know, follow little simple rules, then he got to go. Dr. Henry, I want to need for you to clean up our house. I want to say it every week. You're a hoarder. Child, let's move on. Last and certainly least, we got the good Christians, Sharna and Mark. We'll wait till Jesus comes. Heard her heart bangs shout. So we have Bill, child. Bill still there griping. Bill still there moping. Bill have yet to look for a job. And he ain't gonna look for a job. In fact, he said he's a whole author out here. He said he the next Stephen King. Why he need to look for work? He done wrote a whole book in prison about a serial K-I-L-L-E-R. Bill, who gonna buy this book? Sharna said that she threw hers in the trash. Sharna said, I threw it in the trash. She said it was just offensive and that it had terrible language. Why would he think I would read that, child? I don't know. Why would you bring an inmate in your home? So Bill says that he is not allowed to use the refrigerator. Heart bangs. Ma, y'all don't let him use the refrigerator. He can't eat meat. Child, that would have been an automatic. I'd rather be homeless than not eat my bacon. I'll be homeless if I can't have me a sandwich. Oh, no, absolutely not. So he got his iced tea and his sandwich on the AC vent. How did you get the sandwich? Who paid for the sandwich? See, y'all leaving out little things. Did you walk down to the corner market to get the sandwich, Bill? It looks like to me you don't do much walking. So Bill says that this is just ridiculous. I can't use the refrigerator. I can't eat meat. I gotta, eat my sandwich here in the bathroom on the toilet while using toilet paper to wipe my mouth. But he used to a child because that's what they used to do in prison. He done called Sharna Warden Sharna because, see, that's what his girlfriend calls her, Mary. Now, I was wondering this whole time, why didn't you live with Mary when you got out? Oh, that's right, she lives in California, and y'all have only known each other for 3 months. So Mary is telling Bill that, listen, your little roommates are a little too hard on you. These rules are ridiculous. What are they trying to prove? And so, of course, Bill, he's up in his room sneaking, eating some salami, pepperoni, and a meat sandwich. Talking to his woman. Talk about these are the rules, girl. Look at them. She said, oh my goodness. So then we get a knock. And no, it ain't on heaven's door. Honey, it's Mark, honey. Y'all see Mark got a distinct look to his face, don't it? Mark got that distinct look. He was like, hey, I'm just checking in. How's everything going? You okay? You good? You know, what's going on? And then, here's Bill. Everything's fine. He's still on FaceTime with Mary. So then, Mark is like, do I smell animal flesh? Do I smell something that had parents? Oh no, what is that? Is that meat? No sir. That's not right. You cannot have meat. See, that's one of the 10 commandments. Thou shalt not eat meat. So, of course, Bill, he's whining and moping, talking about these rules are ridiculous. Then Sharna and Mark and him have a sit-down meeting, child. They done had a house meeting. And so Bill says, listen, Sharna used to support me. 5 years of writing letters to each other. I come out of prison, she done become a warden. What is happening? But see, Sharna Hardbangs is a whole married woman who is worried about a 50-something-year-old man's love life. Why? Why are you worried about this man's love life? Why is he even in your house? I'm not understanding. Yes, I know. You better get a helping hand because that's what God told you to. Again, I told you God don't like dumb. So she said that that Bill haven't known Mary long enough. He never mentioned Mary to her. Don't know none about Mary. Meanwhile, her husband sitting beside her looking real weird. So then she says, what about job? Have you been looking for a job? What's going on with the job? And honey, we already know. Bill ain't trying to work. On the work gate, okay? He said, I ain't working nowhere. I'm in whole author, I told you. I'm about to be a millionaire when these books sell. Then he brings up the girlfriend. He said, the only one who support me is my woman. Y'all don't support me, she support me. And what I'm thinking is, she can move out here and move in here. I said, Lord, the house is full of fools, child. The whole house is idiots. Bill, you done lost your mind. Something wrong with you. How are you going to ask them to bring in another woman, live together when you know that's one of your rules? Thou shalt not blow out somebody's back. You think they're going to have you bring in another woman in this Christian household? You're stupid. You don't even have a job. You're eating sandwich off of an AC vent, sitting on the toilet, wiping your mouth with toilet paper. You think you're going to bring in another woman? I think not. He is flabbergasted that they are acting this way. And here is Sharna. Sharna said, well, that ain't going to happen. Absolutely not. And so here is Bill. Bill is like, well, then I'll just move out. Good. Good. Was that supposed to be some type of threat? Or if I move out, you know, either do Was that supposed to be some type of bargaining tool? If I don't get what I want, I move out. Are you crazy? Sharna and Mark should have said, bet. Right there. Take your little trash bag, whatever you brought with you, your little box, and take your feet to the mother freaking street. Are you crazy? What? But then there's Sharna just looking at him and Mark just looking at him. Instead of saying yes, okay, then move out. But no, they're not saying that, okay? But see, if he don't get a job anytime soon, he may have to find his way to the tour. What did y'all think about this episode? Y'all know what to do. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I am happy to be back. Thank you all for everyone who checked in on me, wishing me good luck with the computer, child. Don't forget to hit that like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, friends.